Hello and welcome once again. Today is the last day of October 2024, and I am so pleased. It's been such a pleasant month. Of course, it has had some challenges, but above all, I look back and I'm just so grateful to have had such a restful, peaceful month. My name is Dr. Jaye. I am the host of How Do You Keep Well podcast. Thank you for dropping by to listen to this episode. Now, this episode is quite a unique one. It's the first time I'm doing it without any script at all, and I'm just going to be talking from my heart. Um, today's today's topic is all about nature, and this month I have been talking about what impact nature can have on our well-being. So I'm going to start with my own little story of how I've experienced nature in a slightly different way compared to previous. Now, the background about me is this. I enjoy walking. I walk 3 times a week, and most often I also walk maybe just arbitrarily to drop the girls off at their clubs, or if I have to do something down the street or the next road, I just walk down. Anyway, to cut the long story short, this month I have noticed something. I have paid more attention to just planning and looking at my environment a bit more closely when I walk. I noticed that I am listening out to the bird songs. I'm a bit more sensitive to the smells around me. I'm actually taking time to breathe in deeply, rather than holding, my tummy in all the time. And I've actually found this quite relaxing. Every day with work, I use a lot and lots of computers every day, most of the day. And I find that I'm constantly trying to focus on the screen in front of me. Occasionally, I look out, and thankfully, in my study, my window is such that I can easily look out and just have a quick span of the environment. So I find that very easily I get very fatigued by midday. And all I just want to do is going to bed, mainly because my brain has been working hard. And I notice that when I go for my walks, I don't have that problem because I'm able to just, in fact, I don't wear my glasses when I go out on my walk, just so that I'm not able to try to over focus on things around me, and I have a bigger picture, a bigger view. I'm able to look at the skies, the trees, listen to the birds, look at the leaves falling off the trees at this time of the year. And it's been such a wonderful experience, completely different. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to be able to interact with nature. Um, uh, and today, one of the things that actually caught my attention was how we could use nature to improve our health. And this is something I am very passionate about. I know that a number of us have so much on our plates, especially if you're a woman and you're in midlife. You have caring responsibilities, you have your career goals that you're working towards. Some of us may have some financial burdens that you're trying to meet or mitigate. And you're beginning to think maybe of your future life, and perhaps when you don't have that strength to run around like you're currently doing. You may even have aging parents or even siblings that you're supporting. And to be honest, midlife is always such that there's always so much to do, so little time. So that little time you should have for yourself, you really just want to like switch off. You just want to, not do anything. And for many people, they end up scrolling on the phone or watching box sets, which, to be honest, you kind of feel exhausted or kind of emotional about. And then the issues that you still have to deal with are still there. So it's really important to kind of find ways where you can, look after yourself in real terms. And I find that just taking time to experience nature in lots of different ways can make sense. So number one is try to find something natural or in nature to bring into your house. I like house plants. And guess what? For my birthday, I got about, I don't know, maybe I got 3 trees. I got a bunch of flowers. I got another uh, two other house plants, and another succulent. How many is that? Well, I leave you to calculate. And I was so pleased. I can never have enough plants, and I was so grateful that my family recognized that I really needed those things, those flowers. I'm a new flower mommy, a plant mommy, house plant mommy. And I'm just grateful I have the opportunity to look after these plants and nurture them. They're all in my kitchen around my house. So try to bring the outside environment into your home. Aim to kind of have something like a green plant or a yellow house plant as much as possible. Secondly, is well, if you are not able to have anything like plants in your house, why don't you find something green or blue in whatever you use? Maybe a blue screen on your phone, screensaver that shows nature, or a nice green wall in your home, or green rug, but just something green to help you feel that connection with nature. And I can assure you, just having that opportunity to look at this can very easily make you, or maybe have a sense of being in your own natural environment. Some people even advocate having your plants rather than in the back garden, actually having it in the front garden. Right, so that when you're going in and out of your house, you can actually see nice, beautiful flowers. I think I'm going to take that take that up this summer, next year. I'm going to put some nice flowers in the front of my house so that I can see them when I'm going in and out. Now, thirdly, is using your sense of hearing. I certainly believe that listening to birds, oh my goodness, I have a tree right in front of my house, and I always love listening to the bird songs. Absolutely love it. And in my previous episode, I talked about how my room was just so close to the front veranda of our building, and I could hear the bird songs. So listen out for the sounds of nature. Recently during this half term break, we went to the seaside. We always love going to the seaside in my family. And it was just so lovely listening to the whoosh of the sea. I don't know, I still can hear it, even without putting shells in my ears. Like they say, if you listen to shells, you hear the sound of the sea. And I absolutely love this idea. So some people find that just listening to running water, or having a small fountain, or just something small that has a trickling of water around them, does make a difference. It helps you to feel relaxed. The number 4 thing, I have said it before, is hug a tree. In some of my pictures, you might see that I hug a tree. I actually find this quite incredibly relaxing. I don't know why. It actually feels a bit weird to start with. But when you take your time to hug a tree, or maybe for you, it may well just be bringing wooden objects. I'm not talking about idols. I'm just talking about normal wooden objects into the house, and you just have a way of touching them or stroking them, or wooden surface. Actually, these things lower blood pressure, reduces stress in the life. So if you want to look fresh, if you want to look young, if you want to look satisfied and calm, if you want to stop the over analysis and overwhelming thinking thoughts that you have, why don't you explore bringing wooden surfaces more into your home? Whether it's your worktop or a flower vase or even a water bottle, you could try one of those. Now, what about smelling roses? Will you stop to smell the roses at some point? Apparently, having a vase of roses in your room can help you feel less stressed out, especially if you work in a very highly charged environment. You may find that just having a vase of flowers in your office can make a whole load of difference. Even the scent of roses, and if you're not really up for that, maybe try to find some of these nice bottles of scents that have things like lavender in them and put it in your office. And it's just amazing how those little touches can make you feel relaxed even on a very busy day. And number 6, well, we've talked about this. I think if you can't go outside, try to bring things from outside inside. So you could use a screensaver that has a nature or sky blue. I mean, there's another topic about blue things. Blue things, this color of the sky, the color of water. Blue, why is it blue? There's a reason. So why don't you find a screensaver that is blue and try to use that as on your phone or on your laptop or your computer? And you can, try to set up natural spaces, natural scenes wherever you are in your own tiny little space. And these little touches make a whole lot of difference. Number 7, if you're not too sure what kind of plant to use, why don't you try? I've heard of these money plants. I don't know if you've heard of those. Well, I would like to have those, but it's spider plants. I think I remember when I was living in Adelaide in Australia, I met a very wonderful, wonderful elderly lady, and she was the first person that told me about the benefits of having a spider plants in your house. I don't know how true this is. I haven't proven it by any scientific method, but apparently it improves the density, the microbial density in the air, and it boosts your gut health. Well, I'm not too sure about this, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. So why don't you try some real life plants, maybe something like spider plants, and just see if that makes a difference for you of bringing nature into the house. And finally, is soil, getting into contact with soil. I think I mean, growing up, I remember playing in sand. Sometimes I even used to lick sand. Shh, don't tell anyone. I remember, playing with sand. I enjoyed having, space to play, whether out on the streets with my friend or even out in the bush or just on the land with where I had my swing. And it was just fun, just playing out and about, and I could easily make a sand castle wherever I wanted or search for tiny little insects in the ground that dug holes. And it's always such joy to see my daughters, building sand castles whenever we go to the sea. So it's a good idea to let kids play in the soil. In fact, some studies have shown that children who play in the soil have a much healthier and a more diverse gut microbiome, which I think is really interesting. How does that happen? Well, science tells us all about it. Science is fun. Well, that's the end of my episode today. It's been wonderful just doing this you know impromptu kind of episode. I've enjoyed speaking from my heart, and I do hope that you've enjoyed listening to me. So why don't you subscribe, share, and like my episode? And in fact, very soon I'm going to be putting out a special episode on menopause and neurodiversity. I'll be speaking to some psychiatrists who are colleagues and friends, and I do hope you would enjoy this and maybe take some points, some scientific points back home that you can work with. But anyway, before we speak and meet again, it's Dr. Jaye. Please subscribe, share, like, get in touch with me on the address, the email address that I'll be including in my show notes. All right, take care. Bye.